I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keep those eyes closed. You're no longer at your dining room table or your kitchen or in your bedroom or wherever you're doing this lesson from. We're now in the Americas. We are now millions and millions and millions of seconds ago, hundreds and thousands of years ago, in fact. We're now in ancient Guatemala. The year is about 500 AD, and all around us we can see great, huge stone pyramids and a thriving city full of Aztec people. We walk into a temple and we can see rich descriptions and inscriptions and tapestries on the walls. The people around us are wearing bright and beautifully coloured clothes. They're adorned with reds, golds, oranges, yellows, beads and feathers. It's bright, it's colourful. We walk around more, and on these walls we can see stories of the ancestors who lived before us. Stories of wars, stories of ball games, stories of births, stories of deaths. This is ancient Maya. Welcome Year 6 to our art lesson today, and I hope that gave you a quick taste of what ancient Maya was like. We've kind of travelled there ourselves. You can open your eyes again now, I should forget to say. Let's have a look at this our title page quickly. So Aztec art, we all have seen art that's styled Aztec, whether we've gone to Primark to buy a new duvet set or we've got some clothes. Everyone will have seen it around. So this picture here that's on our title page is just very similar to some of the patterns and designs that actually were inspired by the Aztecs. You can see lots of the colours of the golds and the reds and the purples were rich colours that the Aztecs would have had access to. They would have used dyes such as mango leaves you can actually use to dye your clothes yellow, or crushed beetles, funnily enough, can actually dye our clothes red and are still used today. But where are we getting all this inspiration from? So let's have a look. So, unfortunately, when the Spanish invaded the Mayan Empire, lots of the art went with it. And as this is nearly 1,000+ years ago, lots of the buildings will have just been destroyed by age and the weather. So we haven't got lots of the art still. But there is some art, and we can see lots of the tales that the Mayans told. Now, lots of the Mayan art was actually depictions of what happened in life. So some of the things we can see here, we've got this two-headed dragon dude over here. Well, he was a Mayan god, actually. And we've got these rich colours that they had used to paint this painting. Next to it, we've got some kind of feast going on with an emperor exchanging tools and tribal people. Well, he's exchanging slaves, actually, with another emperor. Next to it, we've got a more bloody depiction. We have someone getting their head chopped off. That's not a very nice one, but this still was so important to them that they didn't have a way to write this down, so they painted it. They wanted people to know the stories of their ancestors so they could get told throughout time. Again, we've got another one down the bottom. We have a headless man. We have gods. We have the gods of the sun and the god of the moon fighting and battling. It's really important that we can see these things. And we also have some pottery here that was built by the Mayans. And you would have seen the Aztecs calendar, I'm sure, when you were doing your research last week for your English project. And you can see the rich imagery and patterns that we used then. But what about today? We know there are still Mayan people alive today. So let's have a look at how we're using Mayans, cultures, and their art to inspire us today. So as you can see here, we've got somebody who's got an Aztec Mayan style tattoo. So lots of the people in Mexico and Guatemala who are Mayan though will still have these tattoos to honour their ancestors who lived before them. We have a bag with an Aztec style pattern on, as you can see. It's used lots of their patterns and bright colours. Well, this one's black and white, but there are some with bright colours that have affected our fashion. We've got a pattern over in the corner here, and this, just the colours and the style have been used. We still see this pattern today. We've also got this poster down here of Mexico and the Day of the Dead and the festivals that they still have today, which were very much inspired by the Aztec, Mayan, Inca cultures that we've looked at. They still continue today, and there's still a lot of the festivals that are using these things to celebrate and honour the dead. So let's have a quick story that's going to help us with that art today. So this story is about a journey of a princess. So get comfortable. Everybody get comfortable. It's like being in year R again. Sit quietly and we'll have a story. When the Aztecs settled down on the magical island that had appeared at the place of the prickly pear cactus, they did not go to war as they usually did. They still had to feed their hungry gods, but they used their own people instead of captives. That's what their god had told them to do. According to the Aztec legend, their god had told them not to go for war for a while, as they needed to build up their strength. After a while, the Aztec emperor sent a message to a nearby tribe, inviting the chief's daughter to visit the Aztec capital and meet his son. His invitation was accepted. The princess of the tribe nearby arrived at the capital city, with many servants and many presents for the royal family. She was delighted to meet the emperor's son. They had a lovely dinner together. By the end of the evening, she was more than willing to become his bride. A few days later, her father arrived in Teclitotitlan, the Aztec capital city. He expected to discuss with his what goods he would receive for his daughter and bringing her to marriage with the emperor's son. That's when he heard that his daughter and her many attendants had been sacrificed to feed the many hungry Aztec gods. In fact, he probably would have been sacrificed himself, only fortunately for him, he had travelled to the city with many armed guards. The emperor tried to explain that it was an honour to be sacrificed, but the chief would have none of it. He hurried home to tell his people, and the very next day sent his army to destroy the awful Aztec people. As their gods had told them to do, the Aztecs had taken time to grow in strength before they had contacted this nearby king. The young men had become capable warriors. They had many weapons, they won easily. The Aztecs demanded a tribute in the form of jewels, food, clothing, and of course captives to feed their hungry gods. That made the Aztecs very happy. The Aztecs went on to conquer the other tribes' area, and this made them very rich. So this is an ancient Aztec story that's still being told today. It's being passed down from generations, just like the art is. Lots of this Aztec art is depicting a story. So this is where your art for today comes in. So what I would like you to do is telling a story that's happened in your life in the style of Aztec art. Now this story could be about an accident. You could be telling me about an important event where you maybe break your arm. Or you could be telling me about an event where you maybe adopted a pet, like a dog or a hamster, etc. I don't mind. I'd quite like to see an Aztec art of a hamster. You could be telling me about a religious figure, such as a god or a martyr in your religion. You could be telling me about a journey that you went on, or maybe you even moved house. And I want you to tell me about these events and stories through your art. So, I'm going to give you a quick example of what I might draw, and then I'd love to see some of yours. And if you could upload them to Class Dojo, that would be amazing.
So as you will see, that I am not the best at art. I have to disclaim this now, but I'm going to try and show you just some patterns that you could use to help you to do your Mayan artwork. I expect yours to be better than mine, is all I'm saying.
So let's have a look. So lots of the Mayan skills are based on big shapes and colours, as you could see. So I'm just going to start off in the corner of this page. It's very hard to film at the same time. I'm just using semicircles to fill in my page, like that. Or actually, in front of me, I have this bowl, which is Mayan Aztec inspired. And I could even copy that pattern. I mean, I've tried very badly, I'll show you now, year 6, to copy that pattern. I am not the best at drawing. But also, you could focus on using lines. You could always do line art as well. And then, I don't know, you could add some dots in there to border your picture. And then in the middle of your picture, that's where you put your life event. So my life event, I'm going to draw when I moved house. Now, I'm very, very bad at art, so I'm expecting to see much better. I saw some of your guided reading pictures and they were stunning. So have a go at that. Obviously, I want you to be as creative as you can, use bright colours, and I'm really, really looking forward to see what you guys come up with and create. Looking forward to it, Year 6. Well done.